New Superman number 18, Gene Luen Yang writing and Brent Peoples on art. So, this was originally supposed to be the last issue, and I think with the exception of maybe one or two things that are maybe been changed to set new things up towards the end, you can kind of tell that this was maybe going to be a conclusion to the series. And not in a bad way. It's actually not a complaint. I actually think it flows very naturally into a new thing from here.
It does.
But you get a lot of payoffs. You get the whole I Ching and like his twin brother. We get that backstory in the middle and how he represented evil, he represented good, the yin and the yang. But there has to be a little in both. But he rebelled, and then that's why he became who he is, and all the rest of it. And something that separates. I mean, it was already kind of separate because Keenan, of course, powers came from a very different place. But they kind of separate it, because they really mix it in this one with the mythology that they're playing with here.
Yep.
Where he actually becomes the embodiment of the yin and the yang, which is why his new suit, which is otherwise the same, but now instead of the octagon with the S in it, he has a Superman-shaped emblem, but inside that emblem, it's the yin and the yang colours that kind of make an S because of how they interact with each other. It's really cool. I dig it. I'm digging the new suit.
As do I, and what that means, because when you get the All Yang story, in that he was forced I Ching to take on both roles, and so it became unbalanced. So now Keenan's going to have to learn how to be the balance, which is perfect for his character where he came from, and that plays into the issue. And he goes, "This is how a bully becomes a hero."
Yeah, I really like that moment. Yeah, like something that really means a lot to him is that he was a bit of an asshole and he became a better person. So it was a really, really nice touch. A lot of the first half of the issue is them fighting the big demigods that came through in the last issue. Justice League's there, Justice League of China's there, and they're all kind of working together to fight. So there's some good action, but it's really the Keenan stuff and the growth that happens throughout the issue that really works. Because he actually meditates to speak to I Ching. He goes into like the realm.
He tells Batman to get his back. And he's like, "I'll be right back." And he goes
he sits down to meditate in the middle of the battle. He's like, hey, Baxi, watch my back and make sure no one steps on me, right? He's like,
yeah,
sure, Keenan. So,
and he does. So,
yeah. By the way, we'll mention Lex briefly here. Remember how last issue we said the one thing that was kind of off was that Lex felt full-on villain? Now, post the last issue of Superman, I'm just going to say that these two issues took place after that Superman issue. Yeah.
Even though he still has the S on.
Yeah, other than that, that to be fair, that's a valid complaint in that scenario. But hey,
and he has that beginning where he says, "Never underestimate humans," and then Superman is just, "Yeah, I never do."
Yeah, I'm sure you like that.
Yeah, and it's just a quiet moment. It's not like he's making this big statement, but though the fact that Yang inserted that into Superman, just in a conversation with Lex, I thought was super cool. And then like with Keenan now, kind of fills a void that Shazam was in, where if Superman needed help with magic, he could always go to Shazam because that was kind of his equal there. Now he has Keenan to go to, and I like that. It flushes out the super family. Yeah,
they're basically setting up that New Superman is the magical arm of the Superman family. That's kind of what they're doing here, which is kind of cool. I like that Keenan saves Superman at one point because Superman can't handle the magic, and then Superman jumps in to save him later on from heat vision. There's a nice thing like Superman jumping in and saying "not today" when Yang was going to kill him. Like so there's some good big money moments, but all of it works really character well. I will say the panel of him sucking Yang into his symbol, like the Yang into the yin and the Yang symbol, is kind of a weird image. I'm not complaining per se. It's just a weird image. But no, so it's good. So basically, we end up with this new status quo at the end, where Keenan goes to his parents. They've set up these two characters so well. The banter's really fun, where his dad thinks he's saying one thing, then his mum thinks he's saying another thing, and his mum's still kind of a bitch, where she's like, "Oh, I can't let you do this," and she like pulls out her power tranquilizer thing, and he's like, yeah, Batman already took care of that, like you can't do that to us, it's fine. So basically what he's doing is that him and the Justice League of China are going independent. They're not part of the Ministry of Self-Reliance, they're not part of his dad's thing, they're just on their own. So we're setting up the status quo now for going into the new sort of portion of the book, which is New Superman, the Justice League of China, which I think is actually issue 20 is the first one that's called that, or is it 19? Because 19's next. So it could be like an epilogue issue before we get to the new full-on stuff, which would be fine. But But then, I don't know, did you like kind of fist pump at the introduction of the Chinese
Oh,
Green Lantern Corps?
yeah, because we have the Justice League throughout this, and you see Batman and Wonder Woman and the two Earth Lanterns,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, man, I wonder what the Chinese version of the Green Lantern Corps would look like.
Yeah, we've
And
joked
then you
about
get to the end here.
them. We've also joked about Chinese Aquaman. We're just kind of waiting for
Yeah,
that to pop up. But
yeah.
what I do like though is they're doing something different with it, where it feels like at first at least they're going to be a an enemy of the
Well,
league.
well, it makes sense because they represent order,
Yeah,
right?
because
So of course they're gonna be on the side of the Chinese government,
yeah,
you know?
because this government guy comes in and he's like, Doctor Omen, we made a league when we should have made a core, and then these three like Green Lantern looking figures come in. So I mean maybe this is too obvious, but I am kind of looking forward to one of them eventually turning good and joining the league, so they've got a Green Lantern on the team.
Yep.
I am so looking forward to that. This is what I think was added in for like just setting up future stuff, was
Yeah.
this core stuff.
Well,
Really,
and just
really
what she
cool.
says too, where she's like, "We shouldn't have created a league. We should have created a core."
Yeah.
And out they come.
So
So that's
I'm
really,
actually really excited for the plot going forward. I'm glad this is continuing. Then we get that full page spread at the end of our 4 league members, 5 if you include Robin Bot. I don't know if I include him
yeah.
as a member himself specifically, but
Well, yeah. But I'm sure we'll get some more characters coming up. You
it's,
know.
uh, but no, it's amazing how much I love this book. I'm so glad that this went from strength to strength, and we're here we are now. Where I'm
Yeah.
actively like excited about this every month. So
Yep, definitely.
uh,
It's a nice addition to the super mythos, as I was saying before. So the fact like now it can stand on its own, and we get these cool characters to keep going, and it won't be just focused on Kanan. Which, not that was a problem, but now we can actually, go back into Daylon's past
yeah,
as the Snake.
because he's kind of like he's fulfilled his powers, because he says at the end he can fly now, because we get that full page
Yep,
spread of him and the team all moving and he's flying. He's like,
he's
I can
unlocked them all.
yeah, I've unlocked them all.
Yeah,
I can control my powers now. So it feels like even if it wasn't intended this way at first to become like a Justice League book afterwards, it at least feels like naturally it's like, okay, this first 18 issues was about him becoming Superman like properly, and
yep,
now we can do other stuff, and we can and develop all the characters even more. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped for Justice League of China versus the China Core, or the Green China Core,
yeah.
or whatever we're going to call them. I don't know. We'll find out next issue.